guys, welcome back to the channel. So right now we're about to hop in on this R1. I know it's been a while, I've been out for a while, so we need to go ahead and get this thing done. One thing I wanted to show you that I did miss while I was going over this is this air box. This air box has a crack in it that's right here that I need to get it fixed. So I feel like I need to order a new air box. I maybe could probably seal it up or something, but it's probably a cheap part. I haven't really priced it out, but the airbox do got a crack on it, so that's one thing I do need to get replaced. So for right now, we're gonna go ahead and get our gauge mounted onto our upper support. So I bought the case cover for it, so which I need to get those two parts switched out. So here's the old, this is the old upper support with the gauge on it, and it looks like it's only just minor cracks and scratches, but here's the new one. So we're gonna attempt to take this apart and put everything in here. So hopefully that it'll all go back together seamlessly like it's supposed to from the factory. We also got our exhaust that we're gonna stick on here today as well, and get our tank sanded so we can go to the paint store and get our paint and get this thing painted. I was thinking the other night, I was like, man, I don't even know if this bike runs. So as soon as we get these parts on and get the tank painted, and with the fuel pump inside the tank, we're gonna make sure this thing starts, so we need to grab a battery. So fingers crossed, we'll get this thing started. That's pretty much it for right now, guys. That's the update. So let's get to work. Gotta figure out which one's left and which one's right. I always hated a undertail exhaust from the R1, but this is what we got, and this is what we're gonna do. That's and slip right there.
It goes on just like that?
Like butter, baby. Like butter.
So what's the current challenge?
No challenge right now. This is actually went on super easy. I was surprised at how well this thing went on. Bam, we already got the exhaust into place. So now we're gonna hop on over here and let's get this gauge cluster torn apart and put the new covers on, and let's get it put up on the upper support, and then we're gonna move on to sanding the tank. So let's get to work. All right, moment of truth. All right, cool. This thing should just lift right out of here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, nice. Lift right out. Man, that looks good. So let's see if we can get this one switched out with the new one. That's supposed to be like that.
So you're keeping that?
Yeah, I'm keeping that part, and we're getting rid of these pieces. And here, no, don't go far. This should slip right into place. Wow.
Wow. Thank you.
All right, guys, so let me get this thing buttoned up, and we're gonna get this bolted onto the upper support. So let's get to work.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, moment of truth. What it look like? Tell me what it looks like. Oh, look at that. Oh, we got it. Man, that thing looks just like factory.
It's clean.
So now let's go ahead and let's get this thing onto the upper support. And we're just gonna put it right here. There's only but 3 screws that hold it into the upper support arm. I got a little ahead of myself. I started screwing it in. I got to the screw, and I'm like, something's not right. It's too much space. I forgot to take out the grommets that was on the other gauge. So here's the grommets I got to slip into these holes. So yeah, I just got a little excited. My bad. looks spectacular. So the only thing I'm gonna do right now is attach the wires to the back of it, and then we're gonna call that done for this part. Then we're gonna jump over to the tank and get that tank sanded, and then we can head off to the paint store tomorrow and pick up the paint so we can get this thing painted. I'm really excited to see how this thing sounds and runs. The exhaust looks good. It's actually started looking like a bike again. So let's get to work. All right, guys, so now we got our tank sitting up on the table. So the first two things that we want to do is go ahead and take this front part off of the tank, and then we're going to plug our hole. I normally use a rag, or you can use tape to plug your hole so you don't get any water in the inside. And then after that, we're going to wash this thing down with some good old detergent, and then we'll be ready to sand this thing. Alright guys, we've got done with all the sanding. We got the exhaust on, and we got the gauge cluster changed out with a new cover. Everything is looking great on the bike, man. I can't wait to ride this thing. So for right now, we're about to get ready to head over to the auto parts store, aka the paint store. So we're gonna pick up paint for this thing so we can get this thing painted as quickly as possible, because you know, just like I know, I'm ready to ride. So, and also we're gonna get ready to hear this thing. So on our next video, it's gonna be getting paint job, and we're gonna get to hear this thing run. So I'll catch you guys on the next video.
How's it gonna sound?
Brum, brum.
Do it again.
Brum, brum. All right guys, we got some packages in, so let's see what we got. It's probably the last few pieces that we needed on the bike. I'm sure it's always something that we're missing. So I'm sure this is not the last thing that's gonna come in for this bike. Oh, nice tail light. It's a little worn and used, but you know, a little cleanup, probably a little buffing on it, and it'll be good to go. So we got our tail light that we've been needing. Oh, and we got our mirrors. Man, very nice. Very nice mirrors. So we got both of the mirrors, left and the right, and they look really good. These are not the OEM mirrors, they're aftermarket, but for aftermarket mirrors, I can see myself. So it's good to go.